Hello everybody, welcome back to the internet's best reactions. Today is all about Drive to Survive Season 3. So many of you had great reactions, and I thought let's just make a video on it. Why not? The F1 hype is building. You better be subscribed. If you're not, the red button's down there, of course. And also, disclaimer, there will of course be some spoilers here. You've been warned. Let's get into your reactions. First up we have at Ayanwur. Chose a really easy name to start off with. It's a hard life. I saw on my timeline quite a bit of people, or some people saying 7 AM, I'm there, whole series done. Well, 7 AM was when it was released in the UK. Other people, I'm at work, I can't do this, I can't, and there was this sort of weird spoilery, don't spoil things even though everyone's seen the F1 season. Very odd indeed, but there was a serious split. Which one were you? Were you a 7 AM or whenever it came out, binge watch the whole thing, or did you have to wait? This tweet backs me up quite nicely, at Fitzsimones. People saying no spoilers like we haven't watched the whole F1 season already. A very valid point, but I can also understand the funny parts not wanting to be spoiled, i.e. Bottas naked. If you haven't watched the whole series, why are you here? If you're about to say, wow Matt, spoilers, why are you here? But thanks for joining anyway. At Moon Plus White, the first episode of Drive to Survive 3 where no one is wearing masks and there's fans everywhere feels so odd, doesn't it? How is us wearing masks and staying 2 meters apart and not seeing our friends, how is that the normal? Can you imagine telling us that a couple of years ago? Anyway, Formula 1 is still happening, thank God. Thank the sport for putting in the parameters to make it happen for us. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have survived the last year. At Alfsegeist, me when Drive to Survive 3 added the fake commentary and fake radio during testing, acting like they're in a race. Now, I'm a massive fan of Drive to Survive. You would have seen it in the previous video we did about my first thoughts of it. But this part is the thing that really brings it down for me as a hardcore F1 fan, knowing that there's bits and bobs that have been placed in there purely to try and somehow stitch the storyline together. And of course, for Formula 1 fans, it's just wrong, because we know that Scenario 7 isn't said in testing or qualifying, whenever it was. And things like that just really kind of bring it down for a Formula 1 fan, but for the general audience and the general public that Netflix are trying to sort of advertise to, they probably wouldn't even notice. They wouldn't notice if they don't watch Formula 1 on a regular. So I can understand the frustrations from Formula 1 fans. I'm with you on that one, but I can also see why they do it. You'll probably notice the next few tweets are all about Ferrari and Seb Vettel. At lefty_designs, there is not a number 1 driver in Ferrari. Now, I know a lot of people were saying that Vettel's car was hindered, that Ferrari were trying to basically sabotage Sebastian Vettel, which I don't believe at all. But also to say there was not a number 1 driver in Ferrari when Seb Vettel literally got kicked out the door, a 4-time world champion, not even giving him a real phone call or any kind of heads up or discussion about staying with Ferrari. It was just, nope, Charles Leclerc, you can have a billion-year contract, and Seb, you're out the door. It wasn't equal. Lewis Oldham 99, Sebastian Vettel leaving Ferrari. That Ferrari episode just put Seb in such a good light, which I'm so happy for. You know, I have been critical in the past of Seb not performing in 2020 as a great example of, he should have done better as a 4-time world champ. But the treatment that he got from Ferrari was plain harsh, to be honest. And I'm so glad that Netflix, that could have easily got it wrong. They got some things wrong in this series. They could have easily construed it as Ferrari being like, well, you're not good enough, go. But they really put Seb in a great light, which warmed my heart. At Sarita_Godoy F1, Drive to Survive. Ferrari, we can't be too funny. Seb. That's the thing, you can't rein back Sebastian Vettel, especially when there's cameras around and he is leaving the team. He doesn't give 2 tosses about what he looks like to the media as in Ferrari overalls, and I was absolutely there for it. I enjoyed every single second of Seb just being sassy as anything and not giving 2 hoots. Hoots, that's a different word, but you get what I mean. At Seb Vettel News, first seconds into the Ferrari episode and Sebastian's giving us the content. So is that the credo for this weekend? Don't laugh? Yeah. Ferrari were trying to hold on to some kind of credibility, I suppose, for treating Seb rather terribly. And it just backfired even more. It just was highlighted in Drive to Survive, and everybody was reminded that Ferrari could have done a lot better in the relationship there. This one was a cheeky one. The thing I love about Drive to Survive is the fly-on-the-wall kind of aspect where you have some conversations that you'll never see on live TV broadcasts, and this was one of them. At Tick898, Vettel to Horner, and then come home. Of course, he was chatting to Christian Horner, and then at the end of their dialogue, basically hinted at going back to Red Bull, which was very saucy indeed. And I don't think it's ever going to happen. But it was still cool to... Was it cool or sad? It was a little bit upsetting, I guess, that Seb wants to come home, and I don't think Horner really has a door open for him. Moving on now from Ferrari and Sebastian Vettel, we're going to go to a part in Drive to Survive, which I couldn't really quite believe I was watching. Cyril Abitbol basically bawling his eyes out over Daniel Ricciardo leaving. At Ballas2405, Cyril in Drive to Survive 3 is all of us. I think he had a big obsession with Danny Rick, to be honest. Of course, Danny Rick's a great driver, but I'm pretty sure Cyril has a bit of love for him. Like, I think it was a little bit unhealthy, wasn't it? And another tweet as well, at MelXDiziz. Cyril the day after Dan was announced to drive for McLaren. You can actually imagine that being real, that Cyril would actually do that with how hurt he was over Danny Rick leaving. It was great TV. Now, I know I've mentioned Christian Horner a little bit, but I've actually got a Christian Horner section because he's actually really good in Drive to Survive, and I love the fact he doesn't really care what he says, and he's got that rivalry with Toto Wolff. It's brilliant to watch. At No Track Limits F1, Christian Horner when he applauds Pierre Gasly in the pit lane after watching his win at Monza. I can only imagine what was in Christian Horner's head when he saw Pierre Gasly drive past as P1 in an AlphaTauri. Okay, I think Pierre Gasly... I don't want him to go back to Red Bull. I don't ever want to see him back in a Red Bull because I just feel like it's not the environment he needs. But I think he has proved now, after being a laughingstock when he drove for Red Bull, that back at AlphaTauri, he's got what it takes. He just needs a bit more developing. At Perai, Christian Horner to Mercedes in episode 2 of Drive to Survive 3. Any office meme or GIF, sign me up. This was a really good one. At SM_speaks. Christian Horner on Drive to Survive every season. With Max, with driver number 2, we have got 2 cars against Mercedes, and this is our best chance to win the championship. I hope for Sergio Perez's sort of career that that doesn't happen again, because I have really high hopes for Sergio to kind of break the trend of number 2 drivers losing their seats in F1 or losing the seat at Red Bull, because I think Sergio's got the minerals. We'll find out in less than a week! At Spare Steward, I've just realised after watching Drive to Survive that Christian Horner is in fact F1's Karen. Mercedes is faster, I'd like to speak to a manager. Racing Point is faster, you get the gist. It's a fair point, really, and I think a lot of fans, especially when Red Bull were kicking off at the start of the season, were saying that, you know, they're just running to the stewards because they're losing. And, well, is Christian Horner as far gone as a Karen? You decide. At Tony Hilton M. If you can't beat them, report them to the FIA. Oh, God, I love this series so much. Thank you to everybody for just being funny. Even if you don't, you know, feature on IBR, I just see you on the timeline and it's brilliant. Keep up the tweets. Love it. We now move on to Valtteri Bottas, who had his own episode. I think in episode 3 it was. And got his arse out as well, which was... well, we didn't see the full entirety of Valtteri Bottas, which is... very gladly received. At G_Cruise_F1. Me watching Bottas in sauna. I think we were all as shocked, weren't we? We were like, are we going to see... okay, no, we didn't. But very odd scene that was. Who signed that off? Did Valtteri say, I will not do an interview unless I am stark bollock naked in my sauna? That's where I feel most comfortable. Another Bottas tweet at TheGhostBoy. Me when Bottas gave Verstappen a toe on purpose. That was, of course, from Russia, where Bottas didn't get pole, messed it up, and then gave Verstappen a toe in order to not start second. The mind games, I tell you. Is he going to bring it to 2021? Probably not. Moving away from Bottas now, at HV_Eric. Yes, Drive to Survive was great and everything, but where TF is Russell? I was very disappointed that George Russell was not featured with his Mercedes drive. I know a lot of people say, how would it, it wouldn't fit with the storyline or this, that and the other. I don't care. I wanted to see at least 10 minutes of something about George Russell and the fact that he went into a 7-time world champion's car and then just started winning. And I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. I'm sure there's many things floating about, but it was sad. And in fact, so sad that George Russell 63 himself tweeted saying getting to episode 10 and realising you're not in Drive to Survive, apart from when he was saying he was having a romantic conversation with his girlfriend. That was pretty much it. He's had a Lando. He had a little bit more time than Lando did last year, but still, barely nothing. At Kusha L. Jane, my name is Lawrence Stroll. I am the chairman. Lawrence Stroll is a badass. That's just it. There's no more to say. He looked evil, didn't he? I told you before, he looks like a bloody James Bond villain, which is a perfect thing because he's in charge of Aston Martin. I like him though. I do. I like his demeanour. It's going to be good television. At Muhammad RC, Mick Schumacher. My dad is Michael Schumacher. He is 7 times world champion and he is the greatest. I'm a big Michael Schumacher fanboy. If you didn't know, you do now. And I was like, yes, come on, Mick. And I love the fact that it's got MSC on the timing board. Some people weren't particularly happy, but Mick himself said that he was really proud to run those initials, and I'm so excited to see him in Formula 1. I don't expect massive things straight off the get-go, but Mick will get there. Come on. And finally, I'm going to leave you with a tweet from our founder, the WTF1 founder himself, Tom Bellingham, because it made me laugh so much indeed. How Drive to Survive showed Ocon finishing 9th in a boring Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, kind of looping back to these fake radios, fake onboards, fake merging of clips that just don't make any sense. This is just brilliant because Ocon was never going to celebrate like that for 9th. It was, of course, when he finished 2nd in Bahrain. But hey-ho, Drive to Survive, I'm still a fan of it, and I hope you are too. There you have it, the end of the internet's best reactions to Drive to Survive Season 3. Thank you so much to everybody for just generating the conversation. IBR itself will be returning this weekend. I'm so excited. The first round of the season. Make sure you use hashtag WTF1 if you want to get involved. And of course, we have loads of prizes and stuff to give away over the season as well. So make sure you are involved. That's it. I'll see you for the first round very soon. Bye-bye.